This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hello, you're listening to Animal Party on Pet Life Radio, and that means you're listening to me, Deb Wolf, because I'm the host of this show. The next few weeks, I will be having guests on. I'll just give you an idea of the lineup coming ahead. We're going to be talking to a trainer in the first week, a rescuer and trainer, an experienced person, and then so we'll be doing all kinds of dog training topics. And then a little bit after that, I'll be having someone on that I've tried to have on before. I'm not sure exactly what week, but it's Halo's owner, Halo, the white German Shepherd that, as a hobby, finds lost pets. So what a terrific guest that'll be. Karen, Halo's partner on this venture. And I'll also be having Dr. Jory back in the near future to talk about some vet issues and meds that have come out and some new things people are doing in the vet world. So we'll be talking about that. And one of my favorite guests of all time, a guest that when I did the show with him, Pet Life Radio show years ago, we won Best Pet Radio in America for that show. And it was a show with Darlene Arden, may she rest in peace, and Stan Coren, where we talked about cats versus dogs. And we did 2 shows because there was so much information and they battled it out, cats versus dogs. It's pretty good. So I'm having him back because he's a psychology professor and he's the one to ask. If you've got questions like about psychology, what makes your cat's brain work? What makes your dog's brain work? Why do they do what they do? How do they compare to people? Those are the kind of questions you can send me now. And we'll put a link up right next to this show so that you can do that. And you can send it as a voice clip or an email, and I'll read it out or play it, and he'll answer your questions. So I've already received a few questions for him. And I hate to use this word, but one of you used it, so I'm going to reread the email. It says, "Is my cat retarded?" Okay, so we'll be asking him that. Is there such a thing as a retarded cat or dog or puppy or kitten? And how would you know? And what do you do? So, and what exactly is that all about? So we'll be talking to him about that in the future. Now, today I'm going to cover some topics that have been in the news. A little bit about the Academy Awards. Did you see the dog? Oh, I sure did. So we'll talk about that. And I'm going to give you some tax tips. That's right. Do you think you could claim your dog or cat expenses as deductions with your taxes? Well, you might be able to. So stay tuned to Animal Party on Pet Life Radio and find out.
Take a bite out of your competition. Advertise your business with an ad in Pet Life Radio podcasts and radio shows. There is no other pet-related media that is as large and reaches more pet parents and pet lovers than Pet Life Radio. With over 7 million monthly listeners, Pet Life Radio podcasts are available on all major podcast platforms. And our live radio stream goes out to over 250 million subscribers on iHeartRadio, Odyssey, TuneIn, and other streaming apps. For more information on how you can advertise on the #1 pet podcast and radio network, visit PetLifeRadio.com/advertise today.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Hello, you're listening to Animal Party on Pet Life Radio with me, Deb Wolf, and I want your questions. Deb at PetLifeRadio.com. I want your problems. I want to help you. If you've got a dog that's really naughty or a cat that's destroying things or any animal in your life that's just not doing what you want, or maybe it's just quite quirky and you're puzzled by its behavior and you want to know why it does the things it does, then send me a voice clip, Deb at PetLifeRadio.com. That's my favorite. But if you're too shy, just send a text or an email and we'll solve your problem on the show. Okay, so I'll read you some of the ones we've got so far. Someone's asking, and I'm so tempted to answer these questions, but I'm going to wait until we've got Dr. Coren. So you get 2 heads are better than 1, and you get the professor of psychology answering you. But here we go. So someone asked, my cat licks its paws so much So much, so much, so much, so much. She wrote 3 lines of so much. And then so much, so much, so much. Okay, we get the idea. And then she said, "Is this OCD or is it an allergy?" Good question. Good question. Okay. So let's go to some news. Now, there's been a little bit of unpleasant news, and I just want to remind you all last year, March 14th, there was a whole bunch of dogs poisoned. And what they got a hold of was marijuana gummies, so candies of marijuana that had been laced with fentanyl. And they all died. That same gummy, if a child had touched it, the child would probably die. So be on the lookout for these kinds of things. I mean, even much less dangerous, but still deadly, chocolate, Easter egg hunts. Keep your dogs on a leash if they're the kinds of dogs who eat everything they find. Be very aware. Don't go where there's been Easter egg hunts and chocolates left behind. Don't go where right near, after a music festival in the park and it's littered with cigarette butts and broken glass. And yeah, you know what? Pick someplace else because that's where your dog's going to find these things. And next to the shops that sell them in the parks and playgrounds near there, probably not a good idea. Just be aware that this drug is so deadly that even the tiniest amount can be dangerous. Okay, so we covered that one. I don't want to talk too much about that. It gets me upset. So let's see. Let's talk about Croc sandals. I had a comedian on TV talking about them, and he was saying that there's really no reason to wear them. Trent McClellan in 2001 did this whole routine on Croc sandals. But one of the things he said on it, and this was on the Much Music TV station, one of the things he said about Croc sandals is when he asked people why they wear them, they always say, "Oh, they're so warm and comfortable. They're so cuddly and comfortable." And he says, "Look, if if people with fanny packs are laughing at you, it's time to take your Crocs off." And then he said, "And if you want something soft and cuddly on your feet, well, get a cat to fall asleep on them. Or why don't you walk around with puppies on your feet?" And I thought that was pretty funny. Now, first of all, I don't laugh at people wearing Crocs. Not at all. They're very comfortable. Second, I don't laugh at people wearing fanny packs because that's the best place to keep your leash and your dog treats. And if you need some kind of protection in the park, you could keep that there too. And your poop bags and all that. I mean, you don't want it in your pocket. You don't want to carry a rucksack. So why not carry a fanny pack? And if you've got an area of your body you want to cover, you place the fanny pack on that area. Perfect. It's a slimming device. All right. So that's what I say to that. Yeah. So, okay. So we're going to go through a few more things. So I've noticed recently that there's a lot of commercials with dogs. I've told you about this before. Sometimes I just don't understand it. Like, why does the dog give you tax advice? Why does the dog give you advice on your cholesterol intake? Why, why is the dog your credit advisor, right? Like the Clear Score credit. There's a Terrier Cross giving credit advice on that commercial. There's a Golden Doodle giving advice on another one. And in a lingerie ad, J-Lo comes out of her balcony in her sexy, sexy lingerie. And you're supposed to assume there's intruders on the fence because she says bye when her dogs playfully bark at the intruders. What the heck is going on with that whole commercial? Who but wait, okay, I don't get it. I really don't get it. First of all, my dogs would shred that intruder and it wouldn't be a playful, silly bark. And why is she walking around J-Lo, the celebrity, much wanted by paparazzi and weird, freaky fans? Why is she walking around in lingerie in an exposed backyard? And then why 3 tiny little half medium friendly dogs? The whole thing just doesn't make sense. You need a guard dog, J-Lo. You need a serious guard dog if you want to walk around looking like that in your beautiful lingerie with that sexy body of yours. You need more than those 3 little pets saying hello. And then why did you say bye to the intruder? I don't know. That whole commercial confused me. So I like commercials where the dogs act like they actually would, or the cats act like they actually would, as opposed to financial advisors. All right. But having said that, there is a bank that's got a dog employed for stress, and it just hangs around at the bank. And if you're stressed out about your finances, you can pet it. Now that's a good job for a dog. All right, everybody, we're going to go to break and be back on Animal Party Pet Life Radio. And I'm going to tell you about the Academy Awards and your taxes when we get back.
Molly, here's your dinner. Zeus, that's not your food.
Don't let that happen to your precious cat. Elevate your cat's eating experience with the Cat Tree Tray. The Cat Tree Tray keeps your cat's food off the floor and conveniently located on the cat tree. It's the perfect way to eat. It's a beautiful wrought iron tray that easily attaches to your cat tree and keeps dogs and other critters out of your cat's dish. A must for multi-pet households. There's a 6-inch tray for large bowls and a 4-inch tray for smaller bowls. Purchase your Cat Tree Tray today. Go right now to cattreetray.com. That's cattreetray.com. CATTREETRAY.com.
Let's talk pets
Let's talk pets
on Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hello, we're back on Animal Party Pet Life Radio. And I'm sure you all noticed Ryan Gosling, the Canadian at the Academy Awards, but did you notice him look at Messi? Did you notice him give the love look to Messi the Border Collie? Well, I sure did. Apparently they met at the luncheon previous and hit it off. So she was there, Messi was there. Messi was in the movie, it's a court drama. It was nominated for Best Picture, Anatomy of a Fall. It's a French movie. And when Robert Downey Jr. won, Messi put her paws up as if to say, woo, woo, go, go. So she seemed to delight in that. So I just wanted to say, nice to see a dog at the Academy Awards, especially a well-behaved Border Collie. Very nice indeed. I didn't expect that. I was happy to see that. And if you like Border Collies, or if you just like seeing dogs do their job, check out my Deb Wolf Pet Expert on Facebook. Yeah, check that out because I've posted a really cool video of some Border Collies nailing it with sheep and such. And it's just a couple minutes, but it's so good. So check that out. I used to have 13 goats, 2 llamas, and 1 blue heeler. I still have a blue heeler, different blue heeler, elderly one now. And I still have 2 little goats, but it's not quite the same. When my squeaky monkey, my old blue heeler, when she was young and she used to bring the herd in from the other side of the river, and the hooves were flying, and she was so good. She would make an example out of one that was misbehaving or not adhering to the path, and then all the others would just do the thing right away. They'd go right in. Oh, aye, sir. So yeah, watching her work was incredible, and she wasn't really trained for it. She just had a knack for it, as they sometimes do. All right, so I promised you tax advice, and we're quickly running out of time here. So I just thought this was really interesting. Now, I'm going to give American numbers. If you're in Canada, you'll have to figure out your province and your deductions and things. But basically, in the United States, you're allowed about $12,950 of a standard deduction amount for single filers, and about $25,900, so about $26 for joint filers for a couple. And for a head of a household for joint filers, and for heads of household, $19,400. So if you're already over those numbers, you can't really use the advice I'm telling you about. But if you're not, if you haven't claimed your maximum standard deduction amount, and you do have a dog or a cat, there's several ways you can use them to not pay as much in tax. So first of all, the obvious one is the service animals, right? If you've got a disability, if you've got some kind of diagnosed, recognized, documented post-traumatic stress disorder or mental condition that allows you a service dog. If you have MS, like there's all kinds of Parkinson's, there's all kinds of reasons why you might need a dog. So if you have some kind of use that's documented and official, you might be able to deduct expenses for food, training, grooming, veterinary care, any expenses above 7.5% of your adjusted gross income. So that means, if you had a big bill for a hip surgery or something for your dog, that could be covered. That could be one of the things you could deduct. So it's not enough that your pet just gives you comfort. In this category, the animal has to be trained, certified as a treatment animal for the diagnosed condition. So you may also need to show doctor's proof and certification proof. But there's easier ways to qualify. Okay, so for the rest of us, if you have a dog who guards your house or your business, then you can do the same. If you have a cat that kills mice, then you can do the same. Now you have to document it carefully. So here's the deal. If your pet also works in the family business as a guard dog or a pest control cat, you got to be prepared though. You may have to prove your animal is an ordinary part of the business, essential to the business, always at the business. Take pictures of your animal at the business, take videos of it doing what it's doing. Now, some breed restrictions are going to apply. If you try to claim your Min Pin or your Chihuahua is protecting your business, it's going to be a tough call. I mean, you may be able to say they're an alarm, but I think if you got a big dog that stays at the store, that's protection. It's stopping people from coming in and smashing your windows or grabbing merchandise or grabbing the money. So if you got a big dog at the store, it counts. If you got a little dog, you might have to argue the alarm argument, but still make some good records so you could do it. And you'll be able to claim quite a bit of their expenses. Another area is hobby turned business. So most of us who show dogs or do agility or whatever can't claim. But if you're lucky enough to go viral with videos or become some kind of influencer with your pet, then this counts. So then, like say your YouTube channel gets monetized and it's all about your pet and your pet's the star. Okay, well, keep track of your pet related expenses and the income the same way you would for a person, and you'll be able to claim it all in the same way that I mentioned, up to that allowable limit to fill up the deductions. Okay, so now here's the best one, I think, because I love this one. Okay, but first I'm going to tell you the pet-related moving expenses. If your animal's used for work, you can claim all the moving expenses for them as a deduction. So a few states like California are especially good with this. Some states have eliminated this except for military members. So you do have to check with your state, but the pet-related moving expenses are possible. Now here's the one I like the best. Foster pets. Okay. If you foster a pet from an organization that's a recognized, legit charity, with a tax number and everything, then all the money you spend caring for your foster animals is considered a charitable donation, as long as it's a qualified nonprofit. So most of the shelters will cover the cost of food and medical expenses, but anything you're not reimbursed for could potentially qualify. So gas for driving the dog around back and forth, tolls, meals, parking, you could do well. And I think that's wonderful because it makes fostering more affordable. And why shouldn't it be counted as a tax donation? You are donating to a charity. So that's a little help with your taxes. I hope it helps some of you out there. And I just want to say one more thing. While I was on the air just now, we got at deb@petliferadio.com, we got an email, and I hope this person will reconsider and maybe call back and leave a voicemail. But they say they rescued a border collie years ago. And at first, the border collie was scared of a few things, mostly reflections. But now the border collie won't ever go up their own stairs because once it saw a reflection there. So normally I would just answer this on the air and tell you how to kind of decondition your dog out of being afraid of reflections, and starting with the stairs and starting and, having a toy and taping something reflective to their favorite toy and starting to diffuse this connection. But because Dr. Stan Korn, professor of psychology, is coming on the show in a couple of weeks, I'm just going to ask him this question because I think he'll give a very interesting answer. Not just how to train out of it, but why this happens in the canine mind. All right. And then I just wanted to say one more thing. I was watching on TV and there was a cat in a dog fight, dog and cat fighting, and the person went to grab the cat to break it up. And I would suggest to you, if ever you're in that situation and you see a cat attack a dog or a dog attack a cat and you want to break it up, if you're choosing to grab one of them, and I really don't think you should, but if you do, grab the dog. Don't grab the cat. That person ended up in the hospital. All right, everybody. We'll be back in a week with more Animal Party on Pet Life Radio, and I hope you'll leave me your questions and texts and voice clips to deb@petliferadio.com. Until next week, be good to your animals.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.